The USS Gerald R. Ford, the most powerful warship ever built, just passed through the Strait of Gibraltar and entered the Mediterranean Sea. The world's largest aircraft carrier is steaming toward Iran, and Trump just told reporters, "In case we don't make a deal, we'll need it." That's not deterrence, that's a countdown. Right now, 2 American aircraft carriers are converging on Iran. The USS Abraham Lincoln is already positioned 422 miles from the Iranian coast in the Arabian Sea. The Ford, escorted by destroyers USS Winston S. Churchill, USS Bainbridge, and USS Mahan, is days away from joining it. CNN sources told the White House the military could be ready to strike as early as this weekend. 18 F-35 Lightning II stealth fighters are already on the ground at Muwafaq Salti Air Base in northern Jordan. Nuclear attack submarines are tracking undetected through the Mediterranean. Iran knows what's coming, and they are burying everything. Before we break down exactly what happened and why this matters so much, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're giving you the real analysis nobody else will touch. Share this with everyone you know, because one Trump advisor just told Axios there is a 90% chance of kinetic action in the next few weeks. This is not a drill. The USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group crossed the Strait of Gibraltar on February 20th, photographed by local ship watchers as it entered the Mediterranean. The Pentagon declined to comment. That silence is its own message. According to Stars and Stripes, Ford and its escorts are expected in the region within days, at which point the U.S. will have 2 full carrier strike groups converging simultaneously on Iran. The last time America deployed this kind of naval firepower was 5 carrier battle groups assembled for the invasion of Iraq in 2003. This is bigger than a show of force. The USS Abraham Lincoln's Carrier Air Wing 9, plus the Ford's embarked air wing, gives American commanders over 160 combined combat aircraft capable of flying continuous strikes for a week straight, alternating between carriers for maintenance and crew rest, according to analyst Stephen Wills at the Center for Maritime Strategy. Think about what 160 combat aircraft means for Iran right now. That is more firepower than most countries possess in their entire air force. Every Iranian radar site, every missile launcher, every command bunker is inside the combined strike radius. The Ford alone can generate over 130 sorties per day. Iran's air force, devastated during the June 2025 12-day war, cannot match a single one of those wings, let alone both. Here is what Iran is doing while the carriers close in. Satellite imagery released February 19th by the Institute for Science and International Security shows Iran has built a concrete sarcophagus around a new facility at the Parchin military complex, one of its most sensitive sites, 30 kilometers southeast of Tehran, and is now covering it entirely in soil. ISIS President David Albright warned publicly, the facility may soon become a fully unrecognizable bunker, providing significant protection from aerial strikes. It doesn't stop there. Satellite images from February 10th show Iran hardening tunnel entrances at the underground complex beneath Pickaxe Mountain near Natanz, the site that holds Iran's 2 remaining uranium enrichment plants. Fresh concrete is visible at both the western and eastern entrances. At the Imam Ali missile base in Khorramabad, 3 of the structures destroyed by Israel have been rebuilt. At Tabriz Air Base, runways and taxiways are fully restored. At Hamadan Air Base, bomb craters have been filled. Iran is not surrendering. Iran is fortifying. Iran's strategy is clear. Move everything underground, where B-2 Spirit bombers cannot find it on a satellite pass. Harden every tunnel entrance against bunker-busting munitions. Make the cost of a strike so high that Washington hesitates. But here's what the U.S. strike package says in response. The Ford's air wing carries GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator-capable platforms. The Abraham Lincoln's F-35s are already conducting electronic warfare suppression over the region. Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from guided missile destroyers in the Persian Gulf can strike from 1,000 miles away. And according to CNN, among the potential targets for strikes are not just nuclear sites, but IRGC headquarters and military installations across Iran. Iran buries its facilities. America brings more bombs. Share this with everyone you know, because Sweden, Serbia, Poland, and Australia have all issued official advisories telling their citizens to leave Iran immediately. Governments don't issue those warnings unless they have intelligence suggesting an attack is close. But here is the twist nobody saw coming. The most dangerous variable in Washington's strike plan is not Iranian missiles. It's the British government. According to reporting in UK media, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has told Trump that the US cannot use British air bases, including Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean and RAF Fairford in England, for strikes on Iran. Starmer says it would violate international law. Diego Garcia is the only base within B-2 Spirit range for sustained strikes deep into Iran's hardened underground facilities. Without it, the entire bunker-busting component of the strike package is compromised. Trump's response was immediate. He withdrew U.S. support for the UK's deal to transfer Diego Garcia's sovereignty to Mauritius and posted on Truth Social, "Do not give away Diego Garcia." The message was clear. Trump needs that base, and right now, he doesn't have it. Think about what a B-2 denial means for the strike plan. The F-35 and F-15E can hit surface targets and suppressed air defenses. But the facilities Iran is burying right now, under meters of reinforced concrete and soil at Parchin, at Natanz at Fordow, only the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, carried exclusively by the B-2, can reach them. Starmer just handed Iran its most important shield, and the clock is running. Then came the development that reshuffled the entire regional equation. On February 18th, Iran and Russia announced joint naval drills in the Sea of Oman, explicitly framed as a deterrent against what Moscow called unilateral action in the region. Iran's IRGC had already conducted 2 days of war games in the Strait of Hormuz on Monday and Tuesday, practicing for potential security and military threats. 3 Russian Kilo-class diesel submarines are operating with Iran's Navy, largely untouched during the June 2025 conflict, according to Stars and Stripes analyst Stephen Wills. Those submarines have one job: mines. Iran controls the largest mine stockpile in the Middle East. A single successful mining operation in the Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of global oil passes every day, could spike crude prices to levels not seen since the 1970s oil shock. Russia, which profits from every dollar added to the oil price, has every incentive to help Iran make that threat credible. Think about what Russia-Iran naval coordination means for the global economy. The Strait of Hormuz is 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. Iran has thousands of mines. Clearing a mined strait takes months, not days, not weeks. Gulf Arab states, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, export the majority of their oil through it. The moment mines enter the water, insurance markets freeze, tankers halt, and prices spike worldwide. Every American filling up a gas tank would feel the first Iranian retaliation within 48 hours. Trump gave Iran 10 to 15 days to reach a deal. As of February 20th, Oman confirmed a third round of talks is scheduled for Geneva this Thursday, February 26th. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi says a diplomatic solution is within reach. He says negotiators will have detailed proposals ready in 2 to 3 days. But here is what the intelligence picture says beneath the diplomacy. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said Tehran has not yet acknowledged Washington's red lines. The gaps remain wide. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters plainly, "We're still very apart on some issues." Iran refuses zero enrichment. Iran refuses to put its ballistic missile program on the table. Iran refuses to discuss its regional proxies. That is not a negotiating gap. That is a structural impasse. And one Trump advisor told Axios what the president is feeling about it. The boss is getting fed up. Iran's conventional air force was devastated in June 2025. Its integrated air defense, Russian-supplied S-300 systems, was largely destroyed by Israeli strikes. But two capabilities remain intact and dangerous. First, Iran rebuilt its largest solid propellant missile production facility in Shahroud faster than American intelligence anticipated. Iran's medium-range ballistic missile stockpile is reportedly back to pre-war levels. Second, the IRGC operates between 3,000 and 5,000 fast attack boats capable of speeds exceeding 70 knots. Those boats don't need air cover. They need darkness and numbers. U.S. Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Daryl Caudle told sailors directly, "American forces overmatch Iran's threats significantly in capabilities. The Aegis combat systems on the Abraham Lincoln and Ford escorts can track and engage dozens of simultaneous threats. The SM-6 interceptors provide anti-ballistic capability at extended ranges. Two full-carrier air wings provide combat air patrol above the fleet around the clock. Iran has missiles. America has more ways to stop them than Iran has missiles to fire." Share this with everyone you know, because multiple U.S. military units that were scheduled to rotate home in the coming weeks have had their orders extended. Officers are being told to prepare for weeks-long operations. This is not a 48-hour strike. This is being planned as a campaign. Think about what Khamenei is seeing from inside that hardened underground bunker beneath Tehran right now. The Ford and the Lincoln both closing in. 160 strike aircraft overhead within days. 18 F-35s already in Jordan. Submarines already in the Mediterranean. His missile factory supply chain disrupted. His air defense destroyed. His currency at 1.5 million rial to the dollar. Tens of thousands of his own citizens killed in the streets. And a U.S. president whose last message to him was one word: midnight hammer. The regime is not confident. The regime is cornered. Bottom line is this: the USS Gerald R. Ford, world's largest carrier, crossed the Strait of Gibraltar February 20th and is days from joining the Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea. That creates the largest U.S. naval concentration in the Middle East since the 2003 Iraq invasion. Abraham Lincoln sits 422 miles from Iran's coast, 160 combined combat aircraft, Tomahawk-armed destroyers, attack submarines, all inside strike range, 18 F-35 stealth fighters on the ground in Jordan, F-15E Strike Eagles positioned, tankers surging from UK bases. Iran is burying Parchin under concrete and soil, hardening Natanz tunnel entrances, rebuilding missile bases, preparing to fight. Russia and Iran announced joint naval drills in the Sea of Oman, explicitly framed as deterrence against American action. Britain blocked Diego Garcia. The B-2's primary forward base is off the table unless Trump and Starmer resolve it this week. Trump's 10 to 15-day deadline is active. Geneva talks scheduled Thursday. Gaps remain very wide on enrichment, missiles, and proxies. One Trump advisor, 90% chance of kinetic action. CNN sources, military ready to strike as early as this weekend. Sweden, Serbia, Poland, and Australia told citizens to leave Iran now. Khamenei is in a bunker. Whether the Geneva talks this Thursday produce a breakthrough or collapse under the weight of irreconcilable red lines will determine whether the USS Gerald R. Ford arrives in the Arabian Sea as a negotiating tool or the opening act of the largest American military operation since Iraq, 2003. Trump has the carriers, he has the jets, he has the submarines. The only thing he doesn't have yet is Diego Garcia and a final decision. Iran is burying its facilities, conducting war games and signing naval pacts with Russia. That is not the behavior of a country preparing to capitulate. The next 72 hours in Geneva will determine everything, and the Ford keeps moving. Stay tuned.